Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the October update for my Rolling 10 Project Pan series. Yeah, probably posted a lot of videos lately. I have a backlog. My computer broke, and then getting it fixed and everything and getting a new computer. It's been about a month that I haven't been able to edit. I tried editing on my phone, it didn't really work. I've been trying to make things work, but I have a backlog of videos to post. So this will probably be one of the last videos in the backlog because now I can edit again. But yeah, I mean, per usual, there's a lot going on, like I've said before. I don't like to disappear for like a month at a time, but just know that I am still here and I'm still posting and everything. It just might take a little bit of time. Things usually chill out around like December-ish, November, December. Not really, because it's like holidays, but you know what I mean. Hopefully it'll be more consistent then, obviously. I love October. It is one of my favorite months of the year. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, so I'm just really excited to get into like spooky season. It is still pretty warm here at the beginning of October. It's about 75 degrees today. I'm wearing this mostly because of the vibes, not really because I need it. I'll probably take it off when I like take my dog for a walk or I go outside at all today. But it is just, it's the cozy fall vibes, you know what I mean? I'm into that kind of mood. I love like dark grungy looks in the fall and winter. But yeah, let's just get into the products and talk about the update. All right, so up first, of course, is my LOC Tati Shadow Stick. This is what it's looking like, pretty much halfway through that heart there, which I'm really excited about. I feel like it's definitely getting closer. I used this 29 times in September. I had a really, really good usage month in September in general. I feel like I used a lot of products every single day. So this was definitely one of them, 29 times, really good usage. I'm really happy with it. And fingers crossed this will be done by the end of the year. I have 3 months. I believe I can do it. You know, I think I can. You know what I mean? Even if, God forbid, I have to roll it into the next year, I'm just happy with how much I've gotten used up. So yeah, that is the update on my LOC Tati Shadow Stick, and it's so baby tiny. I love it. Next up is my NYX Bear With Me Concealer. So you can see kind of where it's at. I believe it's right almost above the With Me of the Bear With Me. Super satisfying watching this product go up. Yeah, I used this 29 times in September as well. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this up by the end of the year, considering that I have 3 months left, and I feel like it took me over 3 months to get to this point, and I feel like it's about halfway right now, you know what I mean? So I don't know if I'll be able to finish this by the end of the year, but I mean, I do really like it as a concealer. I like wearing it every day. It is really hydrating, so I feel like I'll be able to use it in the fall and winter with like no adjustments or anything. And yeah, it's a really good concealer. I really like it. And I feel like this is actually a standout product from NYX this past year. That's been like a release of theirs, so yeah. Okay, next up is my NYX Thick and Stick It Brow Gel. I also used this 29 times in September, and yeah, this is getting definitely a lot drier. I feel like it is really dry. I think I might be able to use it up this month. It is like a thicker formula to begin with, obviously, Thick and Stick It, but I think I might be able to. It's gonna be usable even when it's dry because of like the thicker consistency, you know? But I do feel like there is not a lot of product left, and I feel like I'll be able to use it up in October, fingers crossed at least. If not, definitely by the end of the year, definitely. It's a good brow gel. I have kept my hair pretty much consistent, like color-wise, so that's really helpful because I don't need to like change any brow product or anything like that. But yeah, hoping to have this used up in October. Next up is my e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter, and you can see there's a lot of windowing on this. So I used this 29 times in September as well. Yeah, it is really getting down there. There's huge windowing on this. It is a very like heavy bottle, so I feel like that's why the weight is so heavy, but I still did use like a good amount of it, obviously. And I definitely think this will be used up in October. I feel like it'll be used up pretty soon in October. I just have so little of it left. I have recently been having some issues with like getting hives on my neck, and I don't know if it's from this or maybe another primer. I know it's not from my skincare because I don't get it like at night or right in the morning, but it's after I do my makeup. So there's something going on with like my base products that I feel like have been making my neck have hives, which is weird because I don't really put this on my neck, but in general, I do have like a really sensitive neck. I'm like to fragrances, to ingredients and things like that. My face, not so much, but my neck is like really sensitive. I don't know why that is. just putting it out there. So I don't know if it's like expired or anything, but it's just something that I've noticed recently that I haven't noticed in past months. Like I didn't notice it in like July or August. I've only noticed it now in September. So don't really know what that is, but if it's this, I'm glad I'm using it up soon. Otherwise, I'm gonna kind of try different products, obviously, and see what works and what doesn't. It's hard when you have so many different products that you use. Like, it could be foundation, it could be another primer, you know what I mean? It could be powder, I have no idea. All I know is that I feel like this, I put directly on my face with the doe foot, and that could cause like more bacteria or something. I don't really know. Anyways, regardless, I feel like this lasted a really long time, but I definitely will have it used up in October. So look forward to the next update of this being rolled out, which is good because this is a little too tan for my skin. Not too tan, but this is the lightest shade, Fair. And I feel like it is not that light. And it definitely does add a little bit of like depth to my skin, which is totally fine right now in October when I feel like I still have like a residual tan from the summer. But as it gets to being like into October, November, December, and it starts to be like more gray outside and things like that, I will no longer have a tan, and this probably will like deepen my foundation a little bit. So I am happy to have this used up by the time it's like winter. All right, next up is my Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Foundation, and this I actually used up in the month of September. So I used this 20 times in September, and yeah, I noticed kind of like last month that it was like, definitely there was like less product in here, and I like stored it upside down to try to get as much product out of it as possible, and it just completely like used up. I can't get anything out of it. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I do already have another foundation in my collection. I purchased the new MAC Radiant Serum Foundation, which I absolutely love and I'm wearing today. They're very similar finishes. Honestly, the MAC one is just a little bit thicker than this. Obviously, the MAC one is 3 times as expensive as this. And this is still probably one of my favorite foundations ever. The MAC one is a little bit more of like a golden undertone, and this is like a true neutral. MAC doesn't really make true neutrals anymore. They either do cool neutrals or warm neutrals, and I am like right down the middle, a neutral girly. So I do really like this foundation, and I highly recommend it to anyone, especially with dry skin, specifically the dewy and smooth one. I've never tried the matte and poreless one because I have dry skin, but yeah, I really love this. I will probably end up repurchasing it after I use up the MAC one. It is super inexpensive in general, but it's especially inexpensive if you get it on Amazon or if you get it, you know, from any drugstore, and there's like deals on it. There's deals all the time on Maybelline stuff. So I'm definitely going to be repurchasing this at some point, but it is just nice to have a product used up because obviously I'm getting close to the end of the year. So yeah, in general, I do like that one also because it doesn't have a pump, which is fine. But it has really nice packaging for a drugstore foundation. Like, it is glass packaging, it doesn't break, the lid doesn't crack. I feel like a lot of times with drugstore foundations, the pumps will break and things like that. That doesn't have a pump, so that's not really an issue, you know what I mean? It's easy to travel with. It, again, doesn't break, doesn't crack or anything like that. It's a very sturdy foundation, even using it every single day. So, and there's a lot of product in there. Like, I feel like I use it every single day and it still takes me half a year at least, you know what I mean? So, and I don't wear a lot of foundation, but in general, using it every single day, you know what I mean? I do really like it. It's definitely worth it for the price. There are obviously other really amazing foundations out there, like high-end drugstore, whatever it may be, but for drugstore foundation, absolutely love that one. And it's super thin, lightweight, breathable, doesn't crack. I could wax poetic about that foundation. I love it so much. That is like the 4th or 5th one I've repurchased, and I'll repurchase it again at some point. So yeah. All right, next up is my Charlotte Tilbury Pinkgasm blush. I also used this 29 times in September. I feel like I thought I was gonna be able to use this up in September, and I don't know why, because I feel like I have a good amount of product left. Like, I'm getting down there for sure. Like, there's a little air in it right now. But like, even without like air in it, it's still like, I got a good amount sits down here, you know what I mean? I do think I'll be able to use this up by the end of the year, but I don't know about October anymore. Again, I love this blush, and it is a really good like luminous blush. I love luminosity. I like to look dewy as hell. So this is a really good blush for that, and it is really good quality. It's easy to use. It's not the easiest to travel with because, I mean, you can twist it closed, but at this point it's kind of covered in product, so I don't want to twist it closed, you know what I mean? But it's easy to use, put a couple dots on the cheek, one on the nose, blend it out, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I like to use up my liquid blushes, obviously, before my powder blushes, because liquids go bad faster than powders. This is a really nice one because I feel like I can layer it really easily, so I can put other blushes on top of it. And it's such a neutral pinky shade that I feel like it's so easy for me to make a more like berry toned look or a more warm tone look. Like today, I have a more like rusty orange blush over this, and I feel like it doesn't look like overly pink, but it doesn't look overly rust. Like it's just a good blend. And I love putting a powder blush over a cream blush. This does stay pretty well throughout the day, but it is really easy to just reapply like powder blush on top of it. So I love that as well. And I can change up the look throughout the day as well. So I can start off with like a neutral pinky shade and then later reapply like a more berry shade blush for like nighttime or going out or whatever it may be. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I hope to have it used up in October, but otherwise by the end of the year. All right, next up is my little Smashbox Turn It On highlighter. This is what it's looking like. It is just the edges still, basically. It was the edges before, but it's definitely the edges now. I used this 29 times in September as well, and I use that as an inner corner highlight and then also on the cheeks. So you can kind of see if I turn, that's the highlight. It's super pretty. It was a little bit light for me in the summer when I was like very tan, but I feel like it's absolutely perfect right now. And it is just such a good highlighter. I mean, I've loved this highlighter for like years and years and years now, but it's just so pretty. Inner corner, on the cheeks, doesn't really matter. I really enjoy it. And I hope to have it used up by the end of the year. I do use it every single day, and obviously using it on my cheeks, inner corner, and under the brow. I feel like you can tell that I have a highlight on, but it's not like crazy, you know what I mean? It's not like blinding or anything, but it's still definitely there. And it's not super like shimmery, like there's not glitter on my face. Not that I don't like that, that is a look that I will go for, not gonna lie, but yeah, I just really love this highlighter, and I'm really excited to get it used up and out of my collection because I have had it for such a long time and I've loved it so much. And I just have so many like blushes and so many highlighters, so yeah. I think in general, I have hit the wall down here and I've been trying to expand that, but also I'm really close to hitting the wall here. So when it gets to this point, obviously like it's just about using it up. It is very hard pressed. I don't know if it was originally super hard pressed. It may have been, but it's definitely just hard pressed now from years and years of me like taking a short dent brush and like putting it like against it, you know, to like put it in the inner corner because I use a really tiny brush for that. So, you know, I feel like I have hard pressed it no matter what, and it is an older product, but yeah. Okay, next up is my ColourPop pressed powder, and this is what it's looking like. I have a really good amount of it used. I feel like, yeah, I used it 28 times in September, and I really enjoyed it. It's definitely a little bit thicker, obviously, than a translucent powder, which is what I was using, but I kind of like the extra coverage, you know, like it's finely milled enough that I feel like it's fine. It's called like a no filter sheared pressed powder, like a sheer pressed powder. So it is supposed to be more lightweight. It's definitely not like a powder foundation. It is like a sheer pressed powder. So it's supposed to be like a setting powder. Also, I don't know if you can hear it. I can definitely hear it. My neighbors are like doing construction or something and are using one of those big table saws. So I can hear like the, and like, I don't know if you can hear it because I feel like sometimes I'm really paranoid about extra noise. And then I like start to edit and I'm like, okay, you couldn't hear that at all. And I'm just being like paranoid. But then I feel like it's better to be paranoid than to be like, oh, you can just hear a saw going for the entire time. Anyways, sorry if you hear that noise. I'm just gonna keep talking through it because it is not like, it's not like super loud to me. I can just definitely hear it. So sorry if you hear that. Anyways, this is definitely supposed to be like a sheer setting powder, not a powder foundation. I don't think I would like it as much if it was a powder foundation because it'd be really heavy, but this is really nice because it's lightweight, even though it has some like tint to it. I don't really feel like it does, you know what I mean? Like it's sheer enough. So I put it under my eyes, obviously, and I also set like right here under my chin, like in my T-zone basically. That's the only place that I set. And yeah, I really like it. I've been using like a dense brush to set my face, and then I use like the little concealer brush to set my under eye. And yeah, I feel like I've gotten really close over here on this wall. That's kind of my goal, to like hit the wall. But I've just really expanded the pan a lot. I'll obviously like put up a picture of what it looked like last month as well, but I just really feel like I definitely could finish this by the end of the year, and then I'll only have one powder left, which is crazy. I feel like it's really satisfying to use up this amount of powder because it'll go quickly, because I do use it like kind of all over my face. So yeah, I'm really excited for the end of the year with this and seeing how close I can get it or if I can use it up. Next up is my Jeffree Star Cosmetics Yellow Color Corrector, and I used this 28 times in September. I definitely think that this is going to be used up in October. I feel like before my issue when I used it, like, I don't know if you can see the windowing in that. Maybe you can, but it definitely has some windowing. Definitely. Maybe you can see it. But I feel like my issue was before, like when I would take it out, I would have a ton of product on this doe foot, and then I'd put like the tiniest little dot here and like have to blend it out. And now I feel like, I mean, you can see I just pulled that out and it looks like there's like nothing on it. So I feel like, you know, I'm like scraping the sides, and then I feel like I have to like go like this to get enough product. So I definitely think this will be used up in October, which is fine. I've liked having a color corrector. I don't really know if I like need it per se. I do think that as it gets to winter, I might want to try a peachy color corrector because I use it for like my under eyes, obviously. Yellow cancels out purple, and I do have pretty like purple under eyes. Like I have kind of gray purple under eyes, so I feel like that's why I use yellow. Because peach would cancel out like blue and purple more, obviously. But I think I would want to try a peachy one for the fall and winter. It has been kind of a trend recently to have kind of like more of a pink under eye. So kind of maybe gonna try that. I don't really know. I don't know if I'm gonna repurchase a color corrector at all because I have concealers obviously, but I have enjoyed it. It is really lightweight. It's a good formula. It lasted for a good amount of time. It's good. It's fine. It's a good, I don't have anything against it, but I do want it to be used up, obviously. So hopefully this will be used up in October. I definitely think it will be, if not the beginning of the month, you know what I mean? So yeah. And then finally, my last product from my 10 for September is this little mini Bobbi Brown oil gloss, the infused crushed, let's see, what is this called? Crushed oil infused gloss in the shade Free Spirit. I do love this little gloss. I'm gonna apply it right now because it's just really pretty, and I was totally right about this being like perfect for fall. Like it is perfect for fall. It's like a warm, not super orange, not super red, not super brown. It's just like that perfect in between, and it is a really comfortable formula. However, I only used it 13 times in September, and that's because I lost it for part of the month. I lost it in a purse. It is obviously so tiny, so small. So my goal for October, like I thought I was like, oh, I'm gonna be able to use this up in September. No worries, like no issues at all. But then I lost it. So, and there's obviously a lot more in here than I like expected there to be. Anyways, my goal is to use this up in October. It is so tiny, I should have no problem doing that. I just need to wear it more consistently and not lose it. So it's just gonna stay on my vanity. Because the whole thing is I was like, oh, I'll try and like reapply it throughout the day. But then I don't reapply it throughout the day. And then it's just in a different purse all the time, and then like I lose it. So it's just gonna stay on my vanity, and I'll apply it in the morning, and if I happen to know that I'm going somewhere, I'll like take it and then put it back. Like I just need to keep track of this tiny little thing because it should have been used up in September. I'm kind of like frustrated with myself, but not really, you know? So yeah, this will definitely hopefully be used up in October unless it's like a wellspring and it has so much in here for whatever reason. It's literally a sample. So yeah, I will be using this more in October, and it will be good for October because it is like, again, the perfect fall shade. So yeah. Okay, so obviously with that as the update, I only used up one product in September, just the foundation. And my goal was to use 2 to 3 products every month for the rest of the year because I am coming up on the end of the year. There's only 3 months left of the year, which is crazy because I feel like this year has gone by really quickly. But I feel like it was just like July, but whatever, you know what I mean? August always feels like summer and like, oh, I have so much left of the year. And then September, it's kind of like, oh, it's like fall. And then October, it's like the year is almost over. Like it's done, it's over. I don't know why, but I only have like these next 3 months to get all of my products used up not all of, but I want to get to 23 products in 2023. Crazy to me that like at this time last year, I like had already hit my goal, I think, and that I'm like really struggling this year, but I do feel like I had a lot of products that were easier to use up last year. I don't know, maybe I just picked different products this year, a lot longer products, who knows? But I do want to hit that goal of 23 products in 2023. So because of that, I need to use up, I believe, 3 products every month for the rest of the year. Let me double check that. Yeah, so I've used up 14 products so far this year. And to hit 23, I need to use up 9 more products, meaning I need to use up 3 products a month. I do think that's doable. I feel like even in this video, I already talked about 3 products that I feel like are going to be used up very, very shortly in the month of October that I'm like probably kind of like certain that they'll be used up, you know what I mean? So I just need to be cognizant of like what I'm rolling in and what I feel like I can use up by the end of the year, if that makes sense. I don't have a lot of products anymore because I used up like 30 products last year. I don't have a ton of products that don't have, you know, that have a lot of usage but aren't like in the project already, if that makes sense. So yeah, speaking of what I'm rolling in, obviously though, what I'm going to roll in is this mini bronzer. It's from NARS, it's their Laguna bronzer, and it is again, a mini of it. It does have a little mirror, which is awesome, and I have been using it for a good chunk of the year. Basically, it has been my bronzer for like most of the year. And you can see that because it obviously has a good amount of use on it, you know? So yeah, I do think this is a small enough product that I will be able to use it up by the end of the year in 3 months, hopefully, you know, fingers crossed, right? I wanted to take a break after I used up my Balm Bahama Mama bronzer, but that was also a mini bronzer that had more product than this one, and I feel like that one didn't take that long to use up. I mean, it did, but like, you know what I mean? It was a larger amount of product than this. I feel like I've used up a lot of this product already, like having this big of a pan in it, you know? And I hadn't started using this product until after I used up my Bahama Mama bronzer, which I used up at the end of July. So I've used up this much product of it in like August and September. And even though like it hasn't been rolled in, I mean, it's kind of like been rolled in because it is the bronzer that I've been using basically. It's easy to travel with. It's a really nice undertone for me, I feel like. And yeah, I feel like if I used up this much of it in 2 months, I'll be able to use up all of it by the end of the year. So that is the goal. My goal for October is to hit the wall down here. I'm like super, super close, but in general, just expanding the pan. I do think it'll be really satisfying again to expand the pan. I really like that I've been doing that. It's so nice to like just go through product, obviously. It's super satisfying, but yeah, this is what I am rolling in for October. Hopefully I will have more products to roll in next month and more products used up. Obviously, if I can use up 4 products next month, that'll be great. But if I only use up 1 or 2, then, you know, it's just more pressure on me for like November and December, obviously. But I do have a couple like long-standing products that I've been in for a long time that I don't really know when they'll be used up. You know what I mean? You can't really tell until you get close to things when you're going to use them up. But yeah, that is my update for October. I'm really looking forward to my update for November just to see how actually close I'm getting, because I feel like last year at this time it was kind of like, yeah, I already hit my 22, so we're just seeing how many products I can use up. And like this year it's like, will I get 23? We don't know. I have 9 more products to use up in 3 months of the year. That's a lot of products, but I think I can do it. I'm like pretty certain that I can do it. So yeah. With that, I hope you're having a great day, week, month, year, wherever you are, and that you're enjoying this transition into spooky season and into fall. Thank you so much for being here. If you liked this video, please like it. And if you like me, please subscribe and join me on this journey. And with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.